Hello, winners, and welcome for Two for the Win Super Bowl Edition 2025. We are going to talk a lot about the Super Bowl, but we're also going to start the episode with, giving our take on a major thing that happened earlier in the week. But before we jump into that, please make sure to subscribe, share, and follow for Two for the Win on all the major platforms, and want to thank our sponsor for today, which is Hard Rock Bet. So check out the description. You got some Super Bowl prop bets you want to do. You're feeling a little frisky and wanting to get some money involved in the game, and you need a place to be able to place that wager, consider Hard Rock Bet sponsoring today's episode of Two for the Win. Hello, Nick.
Hello, winners. Hello, Will.
Let's go. I see what you have in front of you. That's what we're going to start off with. Little mini Luca. So little mini Luca. Nick would have believed the Bucks would have traded Giannis and given more for little mini Luca.
Why you have to bring the Bucks in a conversation with nothing to do with the Bucks?
Because I am a true fan. And so
you're a neuralistic fan.
You know what Luca doesn't have? He doesn't have an NBA championship trophy. He doesn't have an NBA Finals MVP trophy.
After 10 years in the league. All right. So my take. So of course,
we got to talk about this.
So of course, I'm a big Dallas fan. It's gonna always be my team. But my favorite player is Luca. Luca Doncic is my favorite player. And so it hurts. I really thought that there was no way that something like this will happen. Nobody would have ever thought about that. But it did happen. I think it will cost Harrison's job because that's the worst thing that he ever did. He already let Bronson go for nothing. Now he's like, it's one thing that you don't believe in your 25-year-old, 5 years in a row, first NBA team who just brought your broken team to the NBA Finals and won a game against the best team last year, hands down, the Boston Celtics, in the Finals. It's one thing to not believe that he can bring you a chip. It's another thing to not get the most out of his talent in a trade asset, that you just have a focus on an older star. Maybe superstar, but I don't go that far for Anthony Davis. So a star that is not very reliable. During the season, I have to say that I checked the numbers. He never missed playoff games, so that's good. But for the rest, what are you doing? That makes absolutely no sense. It's just literally for me, the only, and again, it's me and only me who thinks that way, but for me, it's because their medical staff believe that Luca will not be able to play a lot of years left, and they didn't want to give him the supermax this summer. And the medical staff believe this guy, the way that he treats his body and the way that he's the last year and a half, all the little injuries that he has left and right, all this different part of your body, they may tell, listen, he's not gonna be playing a lot of basketball left, and that's the only way I can see why they did this trade. But even though I would have opened up for every team, because I'm pretty sure they could have get 5-6 first-round pick when they can get 4 first-round pick for Rudy Gobert plus assets. They could have get 6 first-round pick from the Brooklyn Nets, I'm sure. Or,
oh my gosh, look at what Brooklyn traded for to bring Bridges over.
Yeah,
my goodness.
So they could have get
like 5 first.
They could have get that. Let alone, can you imagine OKC with all the trade, they could have give 8 first round pick to Dallas for that Doncic. They would have worked out numbers in the back, but they could have get so much from other team. No, they get 1 first round pick, Christie, which I think is a good young piece. But AD, that's literally AD, and I like AD, but he's nothing close that Luca what can do. So it's definitely LA wins there, big time. Unless they win a chip this year and next year, I think it's a big flop from my team, Dallas Mavericks. I know so many Dallas fans because I go every year. I love Dallas, and they all discussed it. You saw they lost
Uh-oh.
700,000 followers the same day, and there are like people who sold the rest of the season ticket for 2 times nothing online, and so yeah, so that's I don't believe that they can get over that.
I don't think so either. And the team gave up like 92 points in the first half, the
Yeah, but
first
that
game
means-
after that trade.
yeah.
But I know they were shorthanded, but still 92 points as professionals. They're paid professionals. They're not scrub league, D league guys.
I didn't know 2 players who started that game. I never heard their name, so it's
Yeah, but I think my first I was shocked. I thought it was fake news. Obviously it wasn't. I think it goes beyond the medical. It has to be personal, because when you think about the NBA, you think about it being a players league. You think about relationships and how many backdoor deals they go. They just cost this man $116 million. Now, I know he's got endorsements. I know he's not, living poor. He's fine. But when you don't think that's going to resonate with other players and free agents when they think about Dallas, and they're going to be like, listen, they kneecap this guy 6 months before he's due for Supermax, and they cost him 116 mil because they were upset and took a beer away from him after they won the Western Conference Finals last year, and they pulled that beer out of his hand. I think there's stuff behind the scenes we may never find out. And of course, this is all speculation. It could just be as simple as they don't believe he's going to be the long-term answer because of his health and conditioning. And that's the rational answer. But knowing the NBA as a relationship league, I think they also knew that LA would keep quiet. I'm sure they said, if any word of this gets out, we're not doing any deal, because LA needs to have a succession plan. AD and his unibrow was not going to be the succession plan post LeBron. Luca's the face of that franchise. LA does it all the time. But to your point, why in the world wouldn't they have opened it up? I think they really like AD. They think he fits, move him to a power forward. They only took 1 first-round draft pick. I think there was something there with the relationship with LA ownership, with the Mavs GM and the owner, because they could have got a lot more, a lot more. So I think it's business first, but I think there's some personal stuff that came into it, because you don't open up. You got arguably a top 3, 4 player in the NBA, maybe even top 1.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how you weight certain things, why in the world wouldn't you open it up? There was a reason. And I think part of it was, okay, we'll do LA a solid, and we really like AD. They really like AD, has to be number 1, because why else not take somebody else? And then to cost this man $116 million in a relationship business, I think somewhere along the way it got personal. And, but we'll never know.
We never know. The only thing is that the first time that Luca go back in Dallas, I'm gonna bet my house on Luca getting more than 50 point, rebound, assist. Like, he's gonna destroy them by himself.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna destroy Dallas. Knowing Luca's mentality, when he needs to play well, Luca never play bad. Like, never. I never saw a game that Luca played bad. He should have been playing well for something that value. I was in the stadium last year in the semifinal, the Eastern Conference semifinal against OKC, Game 6. I was in Dallas. What a show. I mean, he took over down 17 in the second half, and then Luca said, give me the ball, and it was over. Like, he literally beat OKC in the second half by himself. So it's insane. So I cannot wait for the first time they play against each other in Dallas. I mean, I
was literally a few days away from buying a Doncic jersey, because remember I said I've been wanting to buy some different jerseys. Yeah, now I'm glad I didn't, because it's obviously would have been obsolete.
Well, you can still do, but
the Lakers, yeah, I'll probably get the black one. I like the black jersey. I just like the way they look. But I think with Luca, and we talked a little bit about this before jumping on the show, I think pairing him with LeBron, somebody who spends $1 million a year just on his body to get shape, and LeBron at 40, he's still like a top 20, 25 player. Like
what? Top 10?
Maybe. I got, well, actually, you think about there's Luca, there's Giannis, I would take before LeBron,
Jokic,
Wemby, Jokic, SGA.
SGA, yeah.
Yeah, so sure. I don't know top 10, but 10. But either way, he's still a top player. At 40 and 22 years.
Last Saturday, 32, 13, and 11, winning on New York.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge LeBron fan, but I got mass respect for LeBron, how he takes care of his body. And I think for Luca, this will be, you're right. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder. And I think when he gets with LeBron, I think that could help him maybe buy into the conditioning a little bit more. But we'll see. But either way, still a shocker. And certainly wish Luca the best. And I think you're right. The Mavs, they got a 2-year window. So here, let's see. Let's see what happens.
And stay tuned. First time they play each other in Dallas, he's gonna destroy them. Mark my word. He's gonna say, JJ, just don't run anything. Give me the freaking ball.
Yeah.
And LeBron will feed him the ball like nothing, and he's gonna take over this game.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But let's get into Super Bowl, Philly, Kansas City. Kansas City trying to go for history, be the first team to win 3 Super Bowls. I know, 3 Super Bowls in a row to three-peat. They wouldn't be the first NFL team to win 3 championships in a row. Green Bay is one of those.
Yeah. Before Jesus Christ.
No. But they would be the first to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. And they're playing against Philly, which they beat to start this streak with 1 Super Bowl 2 years ago. Obviously, Saquon, we're big fans of his leadership. Obviously, had a great year. To mass respect to Philly's O-line, D-line. But Kansas City, we've talked about it all year. Like, they're not that good. They're barely winning these games, and yet they keep winning. And it doesn't help to have a little friendly help from the Zebras. But they still keep winning. And so here we are, the chance for history versus the chance for Philly to really solidify their place in history by winning a championship. So I'll be quiet now and pass it over to you. Thoughts on the game?
This is hard because I so don't want to watch this game. I mean,
you and a lot of other Americans.
Worst game, unless you are from Kansas City or from Philadelphia, that little piece of Philadelphia. No, I don't think that game you want to watch. That looks awful on paper. Anyway, I don't want KC to lose this game. I don't want Philadelphia to win this game. Let's say that. Of course, I'm a huge Cowboys fan, so Philadelphia, I just don't want to even hear anything to do with Eagles. But I will have to say that I think Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this game, and I don't even think it's going to be close.
Ooh,
I think Philadelphia are way better than Kansas City, even with the refs. I think that you cannot stop the O-line. And I'm not going to say Saquon. Saquon, I that's the only one I love. I used to love Jason Kelsey and him, and now this year him. Those are the only player I like about Philadelphia. But it's the O-line. You cannot... You cannot do anything against them, and I don't think that the D-line of Kansas City, they have a couple good one, of course, Jones and stuff, but I don't think that they can actually do something against that. And I don't believe in Hurts. I really don't believe in Hurts at all. It's not complicated when you have 2 old-timer like Brown and the Alabama kid Smith.
Yeah.
And then you have, Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, for tight end. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to not throw balls to them. So even if you are a very average quarterback, you still throw those balls and they're going to catch it. and then the whole line. You have a million time to just throw the ball. I mean, put any is the same thing for me as Baltimore Ravens. If you would have put any other quarterback instead of Jackson, you finish the season 13-5, like they did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the same with the Eagles. Doesn't Hurts is not the reason why they win or they lose. The Hurts is just a role player. So at the O line and defensively, they are so strong. The D line, I think they win by 12.
12 points.
Mm-hmm. And I hate myself. I like seriously. The only reason I'm serious here. The only reason I'm gonna watch the game Sunday, it's because you have the podcast.
Yeah,
I would not watch. I would watch like whatever the recruit on Netflix or something. But I would not watch this game because it's not fun. I mean, it's boring football.
yeah, you got good commercials. The one
Not
time a year
even
to watch
commercial.
commercials.
Like last few years, it's nothing special. And don't get me started with the halftime. The halftime, I definitely turn off. I don't want to hear those things. That's disgusting music. No, I don't do this.
Tell me how you really feel.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Bring back something good, like Prince back in the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you gonna resurrect him?
Yeah, bring me back like some real shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a fan of Kendrick Lamar halftime. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, that's not music. Anyway, your turn.
I agree. Philadelphia is a more complete team. History has shown when you have a top 10 defense,
Oh, yeah.
you typically win the Super Bowl. If you go to the Super Bowl with the top 10 defense, they have the number one defense in terms of scoring defense and yardage. Philly does. All the things you said point to Philly winning this game. But, my friends, as Lee Corso would say, I am going with Kansas City.
Woohoo!
I
hope you're right.
I am not betting against Patrick or Mahomes. I said it before. 3rd and 12, he'll do his little Kermit scamper to the sideline, slow up, try to get the personal foul, late hit. He does this all the time. Falling, crazy platform throws. He finds a way to win. I really am starting. He doesn't have the same public intensity persona as the person I'm going to compare him to, but obviously, this man is serious about winning. You don't go. He's never not been to the AFC Championship game in his career, and who I'm going to compare him to. And it's almost blasphemy that I'm going to say this because I really hold this player in such high regard. But at some point, you just got to say this man is a winner and he will find a way to win. And that's Michael Jordan. Like Michael Jordan willed those teams to win. Patrick Mahomes wills Kansas City to win. There is no way they should have won the Super Bowl last year. There's no way they should be at the Super Bowl this year. It's because of one person who sounds like Kermit the Frog, but can throw the football like nobody's business. And I'm sick of him on commercials, but he's a heck of a football player. And he's a leader. And I'm not going against him. I'm not going against the NFL with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce probably going to propose to her if they win the Super Bowl right on the field. So they get some massive ratings bonanza from that and some craziness because he's probably going to retire after this game. I'm not going against that. I'm not going against the refs who have shown time and again. And I hate to even kind of say this, but here's where I think Philadelphia is going to be brought down to earth a little bit. So Mahomes and Kansas City can win. I'm going to say by 3 or 4. Okay. I'll just say 3 just for giggles, but it could be 4. In the Super Bowl, sometimes it seems like every few years is a big injury. Something happens unexpected that kind of levels the playing field. Of course, I'm going to go back to the Packers. When 2010, Charles Woodson broke his collarbone. They were able to overcome it because of a costly fumble by Pittsburgh, but that took him out. I think somebody between A.J. Brown, Saquon, maybe with a pulled hammy or something, or Hurts, one of those three does not play the full game. I think something happens. You heard it here first. Call me Nostradamus if it comes true.
Yeah, if it comes through, I'm running.
But I think something like that's going to go down enough to level the playing field, because especially if it's somebody like Saquon or even A.J. Brown, then Kansas City's defense can really adjust. So if it's A.J. Brown, they're going to stack the box like crazy. If it's Saquon, you just go into
Saquon is the one
coverage.
that cannot get it.
Yeah, and
because Hurts doesn't matter. If he gets hurt, it's not changed. Like I said,
well, not really, but I think it does. Who's their backup? Pickett.
Yeah.
Like I mean, they would blitz the heck out of Pickett. Well, maybe. I mean, Pickett doesn't have the mobility as Hurts.
That's true.
I'm not a huge fan of Hurts, but I take Hurts over Pickett for sure. Yeah. But I just think Kansas City makes history. It doesn't make sense because all the things you said make sense, and all the things I mentioned about Philadelphia make sense. So why they should win this, and I think they should win pretty comfortably. I'm not going against Mahomes. I'm not going against Kansas City. I'm not going against Taylor Swift, and I'm not going against the refs. I am going to take my medicine and learn from the mistakes of the last 2 years of picking against Kansas City, and I'm going with them.
I truly, truly hope you're right. I mean, I would be super happy to come next week and said, well, I'm so pleased. I'm so happy to be wrong, but you've been right more than me this year in the picks. So I really hope you're right, because I cannot hear Philadelphia Eagles like jumping. I mean, like this stupid guy who go on stuff and fell and die. I'm like, seriously, no, like, come on, like do something like with your mind. I mean,
I hear
dude. You. Anyway, so that's really something I hope that you're right about this, because it would be awful to have the Eagles, like hearing the Eagles for like a year.
Oh gosh, it's not so much the Eagles, it's their fans.
Yeah, the fan are the worst fan.
But you know what? I will say I'm excited about the second Thanksgiving, because that's what I call the Super Bowl. I'm going to be eating and drinking. I'm not doing anything major this year or anything, but I always pick up some stuff, and it's just sit around, eat, and drink. Come on over. Yeah,
you heard every winners. Come home.
Come on down. I'll have the sudsy and the food, and it'll be good. I did see. I know what you're saying about the commercials. They have been a little underwhelming. I saw a preview of one. Ooh. They're bringing back When Harry Met Sally. Ooh. Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, legitimate, like their age now, reenacting that scene. And all I'm going to say is it involves mayonnaise. You can't make this stuff up. And I'm like,
that's
okay.
Will Lewis, or with, what's the name of the guy, ESPN? I forgot.
For the Mayo?
Yeah. Come on. Forgot his name. He's at First Take. I like him, actually.
Arlovsky?
Yeah.
He likes Mayo?
He's doing a Mayo commercial.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, well, yeah, this one is When Harry Met Sally, reenacted with Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan, there was a stretch where she was a little, we'll go a little pop culture here, where she looked a little rough. I don't know what she did, but she was looking good.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe took out some of that stuff. I don't know anything about that, but she looked better than what she has when I've seen her lately, and so kudos to her. All right, we're going to do a real quick fun segment. We know more money is gambled on the Super Bowl than any other game in the world, and so we're going to talk about some fun prop bets, not the standard prop bets you may be used to. This one is coming from the USA Today, so shout out to the USA Today. For those of you who are golf fans, one prop bet you could do is who will have more? Hideki Matsuyama, 4th round score, versus A.J. Brown receiving yards.
That's crazy.
A.J. Brown is a 0.5-point favorite. So on that. Here's another one. Who will have more? Houston Rockets, first half points in NBA, versus Travis Kelce receiving yards.
Oh my God. Who's going to bet that?
Oh, degenerate gamblers like me. I'll put my $2 bet on it, $5. Who will have more? Tyrese Maxey points for Philadelphia 76ers or the Philadelphia Eagles points in the Super Bowl? I like that bet. That's actually a good one to make you think. Because Maxey can explode.
Maxey has 17 games in a row. I'm over 25 points.
Yeah, so will Philly. Because Kansas City's defense isn't a slouch. Who will have more? Got my Vegas shirt on. The Golden Knights versus the Bruins goals or the Chiefs and Eagles first quarter points?
Yeah, I think the Eagles.
Yeah. So those are some interesting ones. Now, here's a couple weird ones. So this one is more common. People bet on the coin toss, head or tails. People bet on how long does the national anthem last? Does it go over under a certain amount? Here's one I haven't seen before. I didn't even realize they changed this. But what will be the color of Gatorade dumped on the winning coach? So just for your edification, and this is coming from Bleacher Nation. Sorry, I want to make sure I give credit to where I'm getting it from. Recent Gatorade colors in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 58, it was orange. 57, purple. 56, blue. 55, blue. And 54, orange. If you want to know what's the most favored color, it's orange at plus 250. Anybody know anybody in the NFL who's doing like logistics and that stuff? Maybe get the inside skinny. Here's another weird one. First Super Bowl commercial. Which brand appears first? Is it Pepsi? Is it Budweiser? Is it Doritos? Is it Bud Light? DraftKings? Apple? So right now the favorite is Doritos.
There is no State Farm?
No, I think they're saving them a little bit. What is the odds for the first celebrity cameo at the Super Bowl? Taylor Swift, Peyton Manning, Kevin Hart, or The Rock? You smell what The Rock is cooking. All right. Who will the MVP thank first? Teammates, God, family, coaches, or the fans?
Wow.
The favorite is teammates. God's a close second at plus 200. But God can't even beat out teammates. That's the world we live in right now. God is secondary to teammates. Say la vie. Fans are last. Those jerks.
The fans plus 250.
So anyway, those are some intriguing Super Bowl bets. You heard it here. Nick is picking the Eagles plus to win by 12. I'm picking Kansas City, let's say by 3. We both hope that Kansas City wins.
Yes.
The mental, rational pick would be Philly. We shall see. It's going to be interesting. Any last comments before we wrap up with our winners today, my friend?
Crush, Eagle, crash. That will be my closing statement.
Yeah, crash, Eagle, crash. Next week, we will have NBA trade deadline discussions to talk about. It's certainly going to be a lot more moves to talk about there. Obviously, talk about the Super Bowl. But our winners, however you decide to spend the Super Bowl, whether you're watching it or if you're like Nick, maybe not watching it if you're not doing a podcast, but enjoying the food, the drink, the camaraderie, the commercials. Some of you might be enjoying the halftime show. Sounds like some might not. But whatever it is, hope you have a great time. And thanks for tuning in for 2 for the Win. Be sure to join us next week. Obviously, please subscribe, share, and follow. Spread the word about 2 for the Win. And thanks to Hard Rock Bet for sponsoring today's episode. If you want to play some of those crazy prop bets or maybe some more rational bets, please go to Hard Rock Bet in the description. You can sign up and open up an account and have a little fun and maybe make some money. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. So thank you, winners. Take care, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, winners.